Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I've been really itching to make another video. I'm looking forward to jumping into the Psalms a little bit more, talking about them. You know, I've gotten quite a bit of feedback, and I think you'll like some of the things that I'm going to do. So, in the words of those wise people that I know, instead of talking about it, just do it. So, some good things are coming. But it's been a beautiful day today. Weather here out in Ohio is absolutely gorgeous. I'm outside on my back porch. You can hear the insects singing, the frogs singing, whatever's out here singing. It's actually pretty loud, but it's a nice sound. And but yeah, we had a wonderful Lord's Day on Sunday. And I was in Psalm 108, and I preached through God we shall do valiantly. And it's an incredible pep rally of a psalm that was written by David. And my slide for up on the big screen was a picture of David holding the head of Goliath over his head. Here's my slide, and it's part of my series, Psalms for Life. I actually posted it online this week and got some interesting feedback. Some people don't understand the violence, really, that is in the scriptures. The Bible says the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent taketh by force. The Bible is definitely a book filled with difficult stories and powerful images like those. But in Psalm 108, anyway, it was a great pep rally for the church, basically teaching us that through God, we shall do valiantly, whatever that is that God has given us to do. God's not having us cut the heads off of giants or off of anybody really today. So we weren't, that wasn't the message. But our message was that God through us is going to do some amazing things. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the great and valiant things that God does through his people and some of the things he's doing through our little church. Foundation Church is an incredible church to be a part of because we're really not big, we're not important, influential, powerful, but God has seen fit really to allow us to be a part of a lot of neat and fun stuff. One of the things that we were able to be a part of this week, and I may show you some pictures and videos of this, we'll see how good my video editing is, but in the country of Myanmar, also known as Burma, I've been working for coming up on 10 years, and there, the man I work with there has an orphanage, and some of the children grow up from being little all the way up to, high school and college and that kind of stuff. And this one young man there was helping work on some new property that, thank God, Pastor Dang was able to purchase, and we're building a new orphanage closer to where his home is in Yangon. The orphanage, there is an orphanage out by the sea. It's about 120 miles west of Yangon. It's a brutal drive to get there. There's no way on earth you'd possibly believe it unless you experienced it. In fact, you can, if you want to look up some of my past videos and you want to look up Road to Rakhine, Rakhine, it's an extremely dangerous place in the world. It's also a wildlife refuge, and the roads are pretty horrible. Anyway, but the orphanage is out there on the ocean. It's actually in a beautiful setting, but it's far away from Pastor Nang and his family. And they have orphans also that they have rescued that are there living at their home. And when they get older, there's a Bible school called Reformation Theological Seminary that they attend at his home. But anyway, one of the young men who was working there, and I say young men, maybe 16-year-old boy, severely wounded his hand. This was taken right after he was treated. And their country right now, there was a 1-2 punch. We'd been going there for years, and in 2020 we were loading up. We had a team of 22. We normally go with doctors, and we've taken veterinarians, engineers, medicine, rice, all kinds of fun stuff, teaching, and we go there. And we were getting ready to go, but that's when COVID struck, so we weren't able to go in 2020. Then in the beginning of 2021, they had a coup d'etat, and they had democratic elections before, but the military junta that rules that country took over the government. And since then, we've not been able to go back, and there's been just a lot of rough stuff going on there. But the reason I tell you that is so when the boy was wounded working on the new property, this boy really severely, he may, I haven't seen the actual wound. I saw what they did to it and how it was all bound up, and I heard a description. I haven't seen it myself, but he may have come close to losing 3 of his fingers in a very severe wound there. He was bleeding so severely that the very thought that of him getting in a car and making it to the hospital, they thought he would bleed to death. There are right now, because of the coup d'etat, there's a checkpoint every few blocks. And there were 20 checkpoints between where he was and where the hospital was, and they were sure he would die. So they had to hire an ambulance, and that was pretty expensive. But what they did was they knew we would help them, and we did, of course. When someone actually found out about this, someone immediately said, "Hey, I want to pay for that ambulance." It was like $200, which is a lot of money. But anyway, they got him in the ambulance. The ambulance was able to speed through the checkpoints, boom, 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 get him there. In their country, though, they do not provide free health care either. And so you don't just go in there and say, "Hey, I'm wounded." They say, "Well, are you going to pay? And where's your money?" And so anyway, it is a really, really scary. I've been to the hospitals. One of the hospital sayings in their country is, "If you want to die, go to the hospital." But in this case, they actually saved him. They were able to stop the bleeding and fix up his hand. And they were able to do that on the guarantee that we would help them pay for that. Here's another picture of him at the clinic. And so we have committed to do that. And by God's grace, we absolutely will do that. One of the reasons I make these kind of public videos is to let people know if you want to help out, you sure can. Just let us know. Just send us a note when you do. I'll put a link in the description here. And if you want to go to the Mission to Myanmar website, you're welcome to help out. But anyway, we're able to get the ambulance. We're able to, convince the hospital that we actually would pay. And we were able to go ahead and get that done. So we're thankful for that. And so the work on the land continues, and they're doing some land clearing and getting it ready. And here's some video they sent this week of them working in the pouring rain. It's pretty incredible. Check out the next piece where he's telling me about killing snakes. Sometimes we text several times a day, and I get updates about what's going on there. Pastor Nang, by faith, is believing God is going to provide about $20,000 to build a building that will be the new orphanage. This is my good buddy, Pastor Nang, working in his hard hat. Some of you may be following. I actually was building a stadium, and it's right beside this property that they could rent out as a way to earn money. This is the stadium when we were almost finished putting up the roof to help support the ministry, but a storm blew the stadium down. We were totally sick to the heart when we saw this. And there's a lot of material there. And instead of just being discouraged and quitting, Pastor Nang has decided, hey, we'll make it an outdoor stadium with no roof, and we'll take all the material and the steel, and we'll begin building a home for the orphans right there next to it. His perseverance in the midst of hardship is amazing. He's already drawing drawings, and here's a proposed model of what he wants to build. He pivots quick. And maybe later, as God blesses, we'll go ahead and put a roof on that stadium, and it'll make it a lot more profitable so it can be rented out in the rainy season as well as the hot season, which without a roof on it's not going to be able to do that. So that'll be another $20,000 project, but we're believing the Lord will help us with it. Pastor Dang sent me a note and actually a picture of the little boy. Just as I was talking, I just saw it come up on the side screen here. Doesn't he look a whole lot happier here than he did in the other pictures? And I may drop it right in the video so you can see the boy's smiling face. He was not smiling after he was injured, but he's feeling much, much better today. Thank all of you out there who were praying for him and who knew about that, kind of in our inner circle. And those of you out there that are hearing about this for the first time, please pray for the little fella. And so we're thankful for that. We also finished some work this week. I didn't do it, but some volunteers have been reading through a book that we published last year called Pioneer Trails, Trials, and Triumphs. It is the story of Arthur and Laura Carson, the first missionaries to the Chin people in Burma. Burma is, what they call Myanmar now. This is our website, Foundations of Grace Publishing, and you can see the books we have available, including the book I just mentioned, Pioneer Trails, Trials, and Triumphs, the story of Arthur and Laura Carson among the Chin. It's an amazing book. And this book had been out of print, and we printed it, and we wanted the audio version available. And so a family in our church, one of the women there, has been reading this, and we're starting the editing process right now. So Foundations of Grace Publishing will have that book, and it's got the paperback. It's an incredible book. I won't go into the whole story, but it's written actually by Laura Carson. Her husband died while they were out on the mission field, and she stayed and finished his translation work and established schools, and millions of the Chin people today refer to her, they call her Mama Carson. We're actually helping the Chin people here in the United States put together a museum for the Carson family and the East families and the Copes and the Tilbs, and there are a bunch of other people that are a part of this story out in Columbus Junction, Iowa. We're working on this now. We're just, it's a small thing right now, but we're believing God will help us, and we're doing that through an organization we got started called the Chin Heritage Foundation. Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't know I was going to tell you about all that. But anyway, hey, right now we are gearing up to go to Honduras, and in a couple weeks we're going to be out near the city of San Pedro Sula in the country on a ranch, which we've been working with for going on, I think, 3 years now. We went there for the first time in 2019, and since then we've been able to provide a lot of neat stuff, tools, help them with a big water tank and pumps and all kinds of fun stuff, help them put a roof on their church, help them get electricity to their church there at the ranch. And so that's exciting. We're going to go and be with Brent Ozan and his family. Here's a picture of Brent in the cowboy hat at the Cornerstone Christian Ranch. And 5 of my kids, can you believe this? 5 of my kids will be with us on this trip, and my assistant Jonathan. And we're going to have Dr. Troy. He is the medical director for Missions to Myanmar. And he's going to go with us for his first time to Honduras. We've been there, and we've been trying to get him to come. And he's finally available. And his plan is actually to bring another doctor with him and a nurse. And the kids there, there's a school there. And the school is part of a ministry called Wellspring of Honduras. And they have hundreds of children. And we're going to give them wellness checks to start their school year. They've been out of school for 2 years. And I believe there's 247, I think, enrolled. And over a 3-day period, me and my kids are going to help Dr. Troy and his other medical help do a wellness check. And if we find any needs or anything that we can help, Dr. Troy can help minister to those needs. And so it's going to be fun being with Dr. Troy. He is the great answer to prayer that my family prayed for help from a doctor years ago, and it ended up helping my family. And then he ended up coming with us on our mission trips, and he's been with us over and over again. What an incredible blessing he is. I can't wait for you to meet him. You'll see him probably playing the guitar as well as dealing out medicine and checking out little kids. And so it's going to be be a great time. I got a great message from Honduras this week, and I'll share it. Once again, I'm going to try to do this. I'm not a great video editor, but I'll try to share some pictures and videos of this stuff. I'll try to drop them right in this video, and we'll see how I do. So I got a message from Brent.
Hey brother, blessings. Man, I hope everything is good. I just thought this little video would make you about as happy as it makes me. So I know Marco is sure proud of the work you got accomplished, and we got this little tractor done, and you were a big part of that. And I want you to know I thank you and praise you, and praise God for you. And Jesus has blessed us tremendously. Thanks, bud. See you. Bye.
And this tractor was a completely useless, throw it in the trash pile piece of metal. This is the before shot of what it used to look like. And when we heard they found it and they were going to try to restore it, we were able to contribute a few $1,000s towards that project. And when I was there on my last trip a couple months ago, I was able to see it in progress. What's hanging here?
Oh, this is a new project they have, rebuilding a tractor.
Yeah, we got in on this. Missions to the Americas got in on it a little bit. I didn't know we'd come where these things are all hanging up. This is kind of fun. So this is the tractor itself.
Yes, sir.
It's got a little ways to go.
But it's coming along.
Yeah.
Hey, what's on? And he's the guy that's been working on it.
Oh, he's the one. I remember him. Show you some video of that in progress as well. They had it in parts everywhere. They replacing everything in the engine, and I got to be there, and I said, hey, I can't wait to come back and maybe I can ride that tractor. So if you hang out with me and you watch some of the videos we're about to make from Honduras, you may get to see us on that tractor riding around. So that tractor will have a special place in my heart. I don't own a tractor, but hey, I got one in Honduras. They might even let me ride. Maybe, I don't know, maybe all the way across the yard, But we actually helped with another tractor there, a John Deere that had been on the property that was given to them to use. And it was the family tractor for the people that had owned it. Here's a before shot of that tractor. Now check this after out. It's unbelievable. Isn't it gorgeous? And one of the translators, part of the family. This is Eileen with her husband, Kyle, who works with us. She said, I learned to drive my car. I learned to drive on that tractor. But because I had seen what God can do through these folks, I was, eager to jump in and help them. The mosquitoes are swirling around and they're biting at me. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for all the shares. And may the Lord be with you. And I hope to just continue sharing what God is doing in our lives and sharing from the Word of God. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you for your support. Some of you watching, maybe, you don't know anything about that, but that's okay. We have supporters all over the world. Russia, Australia, people all over the United States. When they hear about needs we have, they send us money, and we meet those needs. When I'm in Honduras, I'm going to be posting videos, and I may notice a need. I may, hey, they need this thing. And sometimes while we're there, people online, they'll watch these videos that we make and like, hey, I want to help with that transformer. I want to help with that roof. I want to help with this and that. And we can show ourselves meeting that need right while we're there. So if you want to be a part of that, if that sounds like fun to you, stay tuned. Here in a few weeks, we're going to Honduras. You can go with me. We'll be posting maybe every day from Honduras, little short videos about what's happening down there. But until then, stay tuned for some really fun and interesting Psalms. At least I'm having fun with them. And those of you that are enjoying them, thank you for tuning in.